Have you ever had one of those moments as a parent where you just felt like you were getting it all wrong? Well, this explainer is for anyone who's ever been there. It's a story that starts in a place of total frustration, and it's summed up by just 2 words.
I mean, just feel the weight of that statement. Nothing worked. That's not just a casual complaint. That's the end of a very long, very exhausting road. It's that feeling of being completely and utterly stuck.
And you know the drill, right? You try all the things you're supposed to do. You do the timeouts. You try positive reinforcement with the sticker charts, hoping you can reward your way to better behavior. You listen to every single piece of advice from your friends, your family, and yet, still, nothing.
So when every tool in your parenting toolbox seems to be broken, it's just so easy to stop blaming the tools and start blaming yourself.
And that's the real gut punch, isn't it? It's not just that a tactic failed, it feels like you failed. Like you as a mom or a dad are failing your kid. It's an incredibly lonely and painful place to be. But what if? What if that's the wrong conclusion entirely?
Okay, so this is where everything starts to shift. The breakthrough doesn't come from some new parenting hack or a secret trick. It actually comes from looking at the problem in a completely different way, by asking a new question.
And here it is. This is the pivot. Instead of constantly asking, what am I doing wrong? The question becomes, wait a minute, what if I'm not the problem here? What if this isn't about a failure in parenting, but maybe a misunderstanding of what my child actually needs?
And asking that one question, well, it leads to this huge revelation. It starts to peel back all those layers of frustration and self-blame, and it reveals a totally different reality. A new truth that was kind of hiding in plain sight the whole time.
And this is it. This is the truth that changes everything. It was never about being a bad mom. It was about parenting a child whose needs just didn't fit into the box of conventional advice. The problem wasn't a lack of trying, it was a lack of the right information. Let's break this down, because this is so important. Complex needs isn't a negative label. It's a description of the support a child requires. It means there's a mismatch between how a child's brain works and the world around them, not a flaw in the child, and definitely not a flaw in the parent. The source gives us a really clear example of this with the hashtag FASD truth. This points to conditions like fetal alcohol spectrum disorders. These are brain-based, physical differences that can affect things like memory or understanding cause and effect. And because you can't see them, it's so easy for a parent to blame themselves for challenges that are actually neurological. So you can see this huge mental shift that happens. Before a diagnosis, all the energy, all of it, is poured into trying to fix the behavior. But afterward, that same energy gets redirected. It goes toward understanding the child's unique brain. The goal isn't correction anymore. It's connection.
And once that focus shifts, it's like a door opens to real, meaningful change. Now, it's not an overnight fix, not at all, but it's the start of a whole new chapter, one that's built on a foundation of genuine support.
I just love this line because it highlights something crucial. The transformation wasn't just for the child. The biggest change was actually in the parent. That heavy weight of failure gets lifted, and it's replaced with the power that comes from understanding. That whole bad mom identity, it just dissolves.
So what does getting support actually look like in practice? Well, it often starts with getting a professional diagnosis, just getting some clarity. Then it's about becoming a student of your child's unique brain. It means finding your people, other parents who really get it so you're not going it alone. And finally, it's about adapting your parenting to fit your child instead of trying to force your child to fit your parenting.
I mean, just look at the contrast here. It is absolutely night and day. Before support, life is defined by feeling alone, frustrated, and just blaming yourself for everything. But after, those feelings get replaced. You find community, you find understanding, and you find a real sense of empowerment.
You know, if there is one thing to take away from this entire explainer, it's this. This parent's journey wasn't about finding a better trick to fix behavior. It was about finding a way to truly understand a brain. And that shift in perspective, that's the key that unlocked everything.
So, we end with this. For anyone out there who's wrestling with a challenge that just feels impossible, whether it's in parenting or any other part of life, this story leaves us with a really powerful question. What are the assumptions you're holding on to? And what hidden truths, what new possibilities could the right kind of support help you finally uncover?